Hello, Erev Tov. Thank you for joining us for the lighting of the eighth Chanukah candle here in Israel. For those joining us, you should know that we have been lighting candles every night with Israelis who have been seriously affected by the events of October 7th. We're here this evening in the Royal Beach Hotel in Tel Aviv, where we will light candles together with Eran Sasson, who is a resident of Moshav Netiv HaAsara that lies on the northern border of Gaza, and we'll hear more about that from Eran. And he's living here now with his family for the last more than 2 months. They're evacuees from Netiv HaAsara. And unfortunately, we were going to meet with the mother of Amit Sasson, but unfortunately she was not able to meet with us this evening, and Eran has graciously agreed to stand in for her. People, as you know, here are under a lot of pressure, physical and mental, and unfortunately Mira was not able to join us. But what we'd like to do first, before we get into a conversation with Eran, is to light the Chanukah candles. So join us. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של חנוכה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. הנרות הללו שאנו מדליקים, הנרות הללו שאנו מדליקים, על הניסים ועל הנפלאות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו, שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם, בימים ההם, בימים ההם, בזמן הזה. על ידי כהניך הקדושים בכל מצוות 8 ימי חנוכה, הנרות הללו קדוש הם, ואין לנו רשות להשתמש בהם אלא לראותם בלבד, כדי להודות ולהלל לשמך הגדול על ניסיך ועל נפלאותיך ועל ישועתך. So, Eran, thank you for joining us this evening. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and about life on the Moshav before the 7th of October?
So, I live in, me and my family, we live in Netiv HaAsara, Moshav Netiv HaAsara, in the last 14 years. It's a great place to live in, great community, very embracing one, very loving community. We have a phrasing saying that this Moshav is 95% heaven and 5% hell. So on October 7th, hell broke out. So, yeah.
But before we get into that, can you describe the Moshav a bit, what people do there, and where it's located? Regarding, because I visited Netiv HaAsara a number of times with missions, B'nai B'rith missions that we brought in. I know the wall there, the painted wall that you have. So if you could describe for the viewers what it's like.
Yeah, so the Moshav is located on the northern part of the Negev. So it's the early southern part of Israel. And it's located right on the northern border with Gaza. So you can see the border with Gaza from my kitchen window. We have a population of around 1,000 members, citizens, around 300 families. We in the occupation no occupation. Sorry, for the what people do.
Occupation.
Occupations, yeah. So we have agriculture, high tech, teachers, you name it, we have it. So we have a lot of variety on what people do. Very strong community. We love to be together, and it's a really great place to live. Really great place to live.
Thank you. So, if you could now
tell
us what happened in general to the Moshav on the 7th of October, detail for us. We know that 20 people were murdered in the Netiv HaAsara. Tell us about those events, and of course what happened to you and your family personally. So on 6:30 a.m. on the 7th of October, there was a massive bombardment in the Moshav, a lot of sirens, and a lot of shooting. We woke up. Well, we had events before of rockets falling in the Moshav and rockets being launched toward Israel that are being targeted by Iron Dome above us. So we pretty much know the sounds when there's something like that. But on the 7th of October, it was something totally different. It was so massive, so loud, new weapons that we did not encounter before. So we went into the shelter of our house, and our family was locked down there. And then we started to get messages on the WhatsApp. That's the instant messaging system that we use. That there's a suspicion of terrorist attack in the Moshav. Terrorists going into the Moshav by Buckeyes. So once we got this message, I went out of the shelter, grabbed my pistol, and basically guarded my family in the next 10 hours, 10 and a half hours. There was many gunshots in the Moshav for hours. We were very tense. Started to get messages about our friends. 20 people were murdered. Few of them are from my very close friends of mine. The kids were really frightened, and my wife was really frightened. It was hell. It was hell. Can you describe what happened during those 10 hours? How we know that, in some cases the terrorists were able to break in to the safe rooms, and how did you survive those 10 hours? What did they enter the house?
They were in my on the grass outside of my house. I saw them. So two of them. And they were going through the Moshav, and our security team, like the emergency team we have in the Moshav, were fighting them. And we heard a lot of noises of gunfighting, a lot of bombing of grenades and bomb bricks, and they were texting by people that were murdered, that texted to the community in the Moshav, to the WhatsApp group, that I can hear them now. I can hear their Arabic. They're in my house, and they are coming over to the shelter, and they're trying to open the door, and then silence. And we understood that they were murdered. So it's really hard hours. In addition to that, few of the houses in the Moshav did not have electricity, so they did not have any communication to the outside world. They could not recharge their cell phone batteries. So they were in a complete blank of communication. And then we heard around maybe 4 hours later, we heard a chopper up above the Moshav. It was there for like 10-15 minutes, and then it flew back to the base. So basically we were all alone during those 10.5 hours. Again, many of our friends were murdered, 20 Moshav members, 2 children, 17 years old, which were murdered on the Zikim beach. One of them, or his father, was murdered as well in the Moshav. 2 brothers, Amit and Igal Vax, were murdered in the Moshav while fighting. We lost many good friends,
So, just getting back, when you were in the safe room, were you able to lock it? Did you have, because
only
that
by
was
hand. No locking mechanism.
no locking.
No, only by hand. And there was, and that this is for the majority of the Moshav. People were fighting the terrorists that wanted to go into the safe room. They were holding the handle of the door and preventing them from getting in and murdering their families. Unfortunately, some of them did not succeed, and the terrorists managed to get in and murder them. We have families that were hiding in the closet. So the terrorists went into the houses and were looking inside the safe rooms, the shelters. So few of the families, at least one family, went into the closet. The kids were hiding in the closet while the terrorist was searching for them inside their houses.
Did they survive?
They did, yeah.
And they just passed by your house, or was your house damaged?
Not by them. They passed by my house. Fortunately, we had electricity, so immediately when the attack started, I shut down the windows and the shades. So I guess they thought that there's nobody home. I could look out to see what's going on out from a breach in a window, and I saw 2 terrorists on my grass, and they were arguing where to go. And then they went to a neighbor, and they murdered them. So fortunately we are alive, me and my family, but as I said, we lost many friends.
And did you hear the hang gliders, the gliders? Because I understand the first attack came with gliders.
Yes. We could not hear them because it was timed with the bombardment. So we had a lot of noise from the rockets. We could not hear the motor of the glider. I know that people, and when it started, we were sleeping. I know that people that were awake on the northern part of the Moshav saw the gliders and even took some photos of them, and yeah, basically informed the security. Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned to our viewers, we're here in the Royal Beach Hotel where you have been evacuated to, you and your family and many of the other residents of Netiv HaAsara. What's happening here? What do you do? You know, how is your life here in the meantime? What is your hope for the immediate future? And how are you and all the other people basically coping with these tragic events that you're describing? This is very traumatic.
It is. It is. So first, I want to say thank you to the Royal Hotel. They are hosting us very, very lovely, and doing everything they can to keep our time here as I can't say it's good as can be, but as tolerated as can be, right? So we were evacuated here and some other places, another hotel in Kiryat Yearim near Jerusalem. And it's pretty hard from a village, Moshav, like a village style life, to go into a hotel for 2 months, and God knows for how long we're going to stay here. We cannot go into the Moshav at the moment. Some of the residents wants to go back to the Moshav. Some are saying there's no chance we're going back to the Moshav. It is too traumatic for us. And I can understand them. So we're trying to run our lives here. There was a lot of work reigniting the education systems to our kids.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids.
How old are they?
The elder one is 21, 18, and 16. Mm-hmm. 2 of them were with us in the attack, and the elder one was in the Nova party.
Wow.
Yes. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 2 younger ones are in school.
Yeah,
right?
they're in school.
And what, have they been absorbed into the Tel Aviv educational system in the meantime? How is that working?
So,
what's happening?
Yeah, they're learning in a school here in Tel Aviv. It was really difficult to absorb them into the classrooms because it's a different pace, and so we have a special classroom for each grade of Netiv HaAsara kids, and they have private tutors that come and teach them. And it's a very good solution at the moment that the Moshav came up with, and with the help of Tel Aviv municipality.
And they go out, so they're not in the hotel, they're out, they go to a school.
Yeah, they go every day they have a ride, they take them to the school, and I think the education we managed to
And you've continued to work?
I continue to work at the beginning partially. Now I work full time. I work for Intel Electronics in Kiryat Gat, and we have a hybrid work model So it's really helpful, and I work 3 days from the office, and 2 days I can work from the hotel and be with my family. So
Is there talk? Do you get together as a community to discuss the future? You mentioned some people don't want to go back after this trauma, and others do want to go back. Is there some kind of a discussion platform, or it's too early still to make decisions like this?
we're discussing it on a.
Because it's a personal decision.
It is.
Because it's a moshav, unlike a kibbutz, where maybe it's
All right.
more of a collective. Here, it's a moshav, so it's different than the other communities that suffered.
You're right. It's a personal decision. As residents, we discuss it on a daily basis. We have a weekly update from the Moshav leaders. They are working with the government or with the Tkuma to try to find solution. It's really hard to find solution at the moment because we're pretty big Moshav, 300 families.
1,000 people.
Yeah, 1,000 people. The talks that are going on at the moment is, first of all, to find an immediate solution now that we can live in a house, maybe to have a family life, because in the hotel it's really difficult to have family.
How many rooms do you have?
We have 2 rooms.
You have 2 rooms.
There are few families here with smaller kids that live in the same room. And then before we can go back to the Moshav, the people that want to go back to the Moshav, we need to. We're trying to drive the country to build us some temporary village community in a safer place that we can run the day-to-day routine that we used to run as a Moshav. So this is the mid-term solution, and when we will be able to go to the Moshav and we will feel safe to go back to the Moshav, then we can go back. But that's not in the near future.
No, it's a matter of years, you think, until?
I think yes.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, listen, Eran, thank you for spending this time with us. It's really fantastic. I fully intend to visit Netiv HaAsara again with our next missions that we'll visit here, and I hope to see you there with your family. So thank you very much for spending this time.
Thank you for having me.
And I want to thank all of our viewers for being with us and spending this time lighting candles, and also in the previous evenings. Thank you very much. Chanukah Sameach.